All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're jumping into one of the most powerful moments from Paulo Coelho's classic The Alchemist. You know, that pivotal scene right at the end? It's the final test, a huge lesson about fear, love, and what it really means to transform, just when our hero thinks he's made it.
This one quote from the alchemist himself, it basically sets up the entire story for us today. The idea is simple but so powerful. Right before you achieve something amazing, the universe throws one last massive test at you. It's that final, terrifying challenge that pops up just when you can almost touch the finish line.
Okay, so let's set the scene. We've got our hero, a young shepherd boy named Santiago, and his mentor, this mysterious alchemist. And where are they? They're deep in the desert, smack in the middle of a tribal war, on the very last leg of their journey to the Egyptian pyramids. I mean, the stakes are already pretty high, but here's the thing you gotta understand about this quest. It's not just some treasure hunt, right? He's not just looking for gold. He's chasing what the book calls his personal legend. And that's not just some goal you write down. It's bigger. It's his destiny, his whole reason for being. So what is a personal legend? Well, think about that dream you've had since you were a kid. That's kind of what it is. The book has this beautiful idea that when you really want something, the entire universe literally conspires to help you get it. It's your path and only your path. It's your part to play in what the book calls the soul of the world. Okay, so before he can fight any bad guys or anything out there, he has to face the enemy inside. The desert, it's so huge and quiet, it basically forces him to listen to his own heart. And his heart, it's suddenly screaming at him. It's full of fear, full of doubt, and it's missing everything he left behind. And you can probably guess what he asks the alchemist, right? His heart is basically screaming, "Turn back! This is too scary! It's not worth it!" So he's like, why on earth should I listen to this thing? It feels like it's trying to sabotage my entire dream. You know, the boy feels totally betrayed by his own heart. He even calls it a traitor. And why wouldn't he? It's just hammering him with all these fears. Fear of failing, fear of dying. It's whispering in his ear, hey, remember that comfortable life? Remember that girl you love? You've already got enough. Just go back. It's doing everything it can to make him quit. And the alchemist's advice here, it's just brilliant. He doesn't say ignore your heart. He says talk to it. He tells the boy to explain something really simple to his heart, that the fear of suffering is almost always worse than the suffering itself. You know that feeling, right? The anxiety you build up in your head is usually way more painful than the thing you're actually scared of. And this gets to the absolute core of the lesson. The alchemist points out that you can't just run from your heart. It's always going to be with you. If you try to ignore it, all those fears and desires, they just go underground, waiting to pop up and mess with you when you're not ready. But if you listen, well, then you get to know it. You learn its tricks, what it really wants and what it's afraid of. You learn how to work with it. And what's amazing is the boy actually does it. He takes his advice to heart, literally. He spends the next few days just listening. He makes a deal with his heart. He promises to pay attention to it. And in return, his heart finally calms down. It becomes his guide again, happy and connected, no longer fighting him, but pointing the way forward. So just when the boy has figured out his inner world, bam, the outside world comes crashing in. All those lessons he just learned, they're about to be put to the test. And I'm not talking about a pop quiz. We're talking a real, honest-to-goodness, life-or-death situation. Out of nowhere, they're surrounded by armed tribesmen. They're captured, dragged to a military camp. The chief there, he's absolutely convinced they're spies. And just like that, their lives are on the line. I mean, this is about as bad as it can get. The chief is skeptical, but he's also kind of intrigued by what the alchemist is saying. So he gives them a deadline. Three days. He tells the boy he has 3 days to prove he has these amazing powers. 3 days to do something completely impossible. Or they're both dead. And this is where the alchemist makes this absolutely insane claim. It's a total gamble. He looks the chief dead in the eye and says, oh, this boy? He's so powerful, he's going to turn himself into the wind. He bets both of their lives on this impossible feat. And the boy? He is, as you can imagine, completely terrified. He has absolutely no clue how to turn himself into the wind. So now we get to the heart of it. This is the real test. Everything the boy has learned is on the line. It's not enough to just listen to his heart anymore. No, now he has to actually talk to the world around him. He has to speak with the desert, the wind, the very elements of nature, just to stay alive. Okay, so it's the third day, the final day. The chief and all his soldiers are gathered around. The boy walks out to the edge of a cliff, looks out over the vast desert. The stage is set. Every single eye is on him. They're all waiting to see if he's for real, or if he's about to die.
And what happens next is just this incredible cosmic conversation. First, the boy talks to the desert. He asks for help, but the desert says, "Nope, not me. Go talk to the wind." So he talks to the wind, and the wind says, "This is above my pay grade. You need to talk to the sun." And finally, the sun tells him, "Look, there's only one source for this kind of power. You have to speak to the hand that wrote all, the creator of everything." And in the middle of this incredible dialogue, the boy has this huge aha moment, a massive breakthrough. He finally gets what alchemy really is. It's got nothing to do with making gold to get rich. It's about seeing that everything, every grain of sand, every rock, every piece of lead, has its own personal legend. Everything is on a journey to become a better, more evolved version of itself.
So what's the engine behind all this evolution? What drives it? The boy explains it right there, to the sun. The answer is love. He realizes love is the actual force that transforms and improves the entire universe. Think about it. When we love something, we want to be better for it. And when we do that, we're actually making the whole world better too. And that right there, that brings us to the climax, the big moment. The boy's final test isn't about bending nature to his will. It's about realizing he's a part of it. This is the big reveal. True alchemy isn't about changing metal. It's about changing yourself. So the boy turns inward. He reaches out to that hand that wrote all, and for just a moment, in total silence, he gets it. He understands that his soul and the soul of God are the same thing, that he's connected to everything. And in that flash of understanding, this ordinary shepherd boy performs an absolute miracle. A massive sandstorm just explodes out of nowhere, completely engulfing the camp. When the dust finally settles, he's standing on the other side of the cliff. And that is the ultimate lesson. That's what the alchemist called the master work. It's not some secret recipe in a dusty old book. It's a philosophy for life. When we focus on becoming better ourselves, on chasing our own personal legend, we don't just help ourselves. We actually make everything and everyone around us better too. You see, the boy's test was never really about power. It was about understanding his connection to everything. He didn't beat the desert or the wind. He joined them. And his entire journey really proves that the most powerful magic in the universe, the real alchemy, is that drive to just become a better person. Which leaves us with one last question to think about, doesn't it? The boy's impossible task was to become the wind. That was his final test. So what about you? What's the wind you need to become? What's that thing that feels impossible right now, that you need to master to finally achieve your own personal legend?